Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and you're in Soul. Thank you for being back with us. And today we have a specialist in from the energetic to our own flesh. And her name is Murielle, I hope I don't massacre her last name. It is Gros-Désirs.
Yes, it's complicated to pronounce. It's Gros-Désirs. It's a French thing.
Thank you. Well, she's an inner light alchemist, and also she works in the inner beauty and outside beauty. And we have many questions about that we wanted to ask. And she's a formal scientist and tuned into the Akashic records. And she's also hypnotherapist, and she also brings the inner alignment with our Radiance by offering support by building conscious skincare routines. Muriel, it's a pleasure to have you here. And
Thank
yes,
you for inviting me.
we don't talk much about the care, how important it is for the self-confidence of any human being. And there's many, right now, many people that I know. I told you this because I have even a brand that is called Family Magic, started with soaps and so forth with my daughter. And why I started this was because of eczema. She was born with eczema, and I took her to many doctors and so forth, and all the medications and everything they gave us, it never helped. So, and the stuff that they recommend and the oils they recommend, it didn't work. So I wanted to ask you, why it took you there?
Well, I've always been quite fascinated about the skin because I myself suffered a lot with acne growing up. And it was a barrier for me to connect with other people because, well, I quickly realized that this is what people see. Your skin is how you show up in the world. And I think it's very interesting that during adolescence, a lot of people struggle with skin issues because that's also when they develop their identity. And there's a lot of fear of rejection that are coming to the surface at this point of life. So I had this problem at the time, and it impacted me a lot. So I decided I was gonna work in cosmetic science. I studied biology, and then I went into 7 years working on ingredients that were supposed to um, help heal the skin, help people feel more confident. And I love this area actually with the beautiful textures, the beautiful smell, and it was all very, trendy and nice. And I loved it, but I realized there was another part to beauty than what we show, the skin. It's a combination of how you feel inside and how aligned you are with your own being and how you want to show up. And also, I realized just observing people around me that sometimes when they were going through specific events, then their skin would be impacted. And we know the relationship between the emotions and event and how it acts on our bodies. So this is why I now bridge the two. I help people reconnect with what's happening inside and get a better awareness of their emotions so that they can align inside and have that glow that they're building inside showing up on their skin as well. So this is basically my story with skincare and also in alignment.
I have a question because I know that you're an Akashic reader too. And I wonder, just have never thought about this, but how about if I ask if Akashic reader that it has to do with projection from past lives, because when we're connecting to the Akashic records, we can see where it is coming from, because it might not come from this timeline. It might come from a different timeline, right?
Sometimes it might come from a different timeline, but I also feel like sometimes our soul make specific choices for this timeline. So for instance, before we jumped on this call, I was thinking about something my mother said to me when I was suffering with acne, and she said that basically if my skin looked bad, people would reject me. And where I am now, I realized that it was quite a powerful message she shared with me at that time, because it then forced me to realize the relationship that I had with rejection and how I would show up to the world. And I realize now that the whole thing was supposed to make me work on my rejection wound. And obviously it can come from past lives, but it can also come from this specific life and the sole purpose that we have. Because okay, it happened to me during childhood, but now I also have to use that rejection wound that I had, and the struggle that emanated from it in my business, because I help women show up regardless of their wounds. So all of these are experiences you have to live at some point in order to find your true message and your true purpose.
Yes, I totally can see that. And it is so true. And most of the teenagers, they have hormonal imbalances, and they're gonna have more problems. That, but there's a lot of an emotional. We can use the best products, soaps, creams, etc. But in the emotional part, it is not healed. That is mainly also the hormones are not creating also a inner chaos, and more in the teenagers. It's gonna be showing up more in their skin, and the rejection part are gonna start feeling it. And at school, the teenagers are horrible. They can be big bullies. And that's part of being a teenager experience, I believe so. Because yes, you can help your teenager daughter or son at home, but they have to go to the world, and you cannot control others, how they're gonna be treating them and so forth. So that is
Yeah.
so to help them in that personal security, because when they grow, they're gonna be carrying those wounds.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what helps is not identifying necessarily with our skin and our physical bodies as such, and knowing that this period of life, this moment in life where we're experiencing acne is just an event, a point in life that is not meant to last forever. And because when we detach from it and connect to our inner beauty and our inner light, we then know that the physical part is something that's somewhat secondary. It's a bit paradoxal because it's intertwined. Then obviously the more confident, the more at peace you feel, then the more glow you're going to radiate. But if you focus too much on your skin, then it's going to create anxiety, and you're in a place where you're living that inner peace and you feel conflicted, and this conflict is going to show up. So the whole idea is to find inner peace so that this inner peace can then affect all the different areas in life, and skincare is one of it. So, well, I don't have children at the moment, but if I did, I would focus on creating a lot of moments with them, shared moments with them, where they can connect to themselves, be more aware of themselves, like meditation, for example, breath work, just so that they can connect with who they are, and rediscover their identity as well, because as I was discussing at the beginning, this is a very crucial part of growing up. And by rediscovering their real identity in this world, they will then be able to show up with more confidence in it.
Yes, that is true. Do you create a brand, or how do you work with the skin with people?
Well, the way I work is mostly through hypnotherapy, EFT, and also the Akashic records. So hypnotherapy helps with overcoming blockages. So I always leave it very open when I practice hypnotherapy with people, because I have a method that immerse the person in the event of this life or a past life that they have to rediscover in order to move forward. And then I guide the person towards forgiveness, if forgiveness is needed, or understanding of that event, so that there are shift that can happen in their lives today based on what happened in the past. So I always leave it open to the subconscious to bring us and help me guide the person to the specific event, and also listen to the person and how she or he is actually perceiving what happened at the time, and how they want to use that in their life today, how they want to change their perception so that their lives today can be improved. So when you have the ability to look at what has triggered wounds or has triggered blockages in your life, when you have the ability to see that again and to shift your perception, you're then able to release a lot of energy and actually start to have a new start. And this is something that can help greatly in finding that inner peace that's also obviously connected with being able to radiate more your true self. So I use hypnotherapy, and also EFT can help as a secondary practice if there are residual emotions that are stuck in the body that perhaps weren't completely released in the hypnotherapy. Then I use the EFT for that as well. And I feel like Akashic records are such a beautiful tool, because again, in the Akashic record, you can do a lot of healing, and you're directly in connection with your guides in order to perform that healing. So it's much more open, I would say. There's not, when you are in the record, there's no clear protocol. It's directly a communication with your guides, and they're sharing the energy that you required at the time, and the healing that you require at the time. So you're getting exactly what you need, depending on where you are in your state of consciousness and where you want to go.
And what kind of routines do you recommend for the skincare?
Well, the interesting thing is I have a very simple routine. People would tend to believe that it's very complicated, but I would say to people to trust themselves when it comes to skincare, because obviously there's a lot of products out there, and everybody's gonna tell you, oh, this one is better because this and that. And actually, the best way to find out what's gonna work for you is trial and error. What I recommend is to try to stay as natural as possible, and choose products that would use natural ingredients, because these natural ingredients have a higher frequency. Let's say they're closer to nature than things that would have been transformed a lot through synthetic processes. So the idea is to perhaps be more conscious in the way you choose your product, tuning into the energy of the brand that you're looking at, and seeing if it's the same vibration that you emit, seeing if there's a connection there. And then when you intentionally choose your brand and choose the cosmetics that's ideal for you, then there's other things that you can do to make it more potent. For instance, you can set an intention when you apply the product to your skin. You can say, well, I want this serum to support me in showing up in a more confident way in my day. And then you're transmitting this energy, this frequency to your serum. Because one of the things that people tend to forget is that a lot of cosmetics are actually 70% water, most of them. And water can be influenced by our intentions. Like you can say a positive affirmation to your water to be able to benefit from that energy when you drink your water. So you can do the same with your cosmetics. You can talk to them, set an intention every day, and also use these cosmetics as a way of building a nice self-care practice. So intentionally applying the products to your skin, use it as a way to connect to your skin and your body, and providing yourself with love through the fact that you're taking this serum and massaging it into your skin. So I think what's very key here is really to do it in a more conscious way.
Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker in any of those branches, maybe this is for you. Because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients, because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system, Path to the Heart, that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Something that I learned when I do my soaps or my creams or my things from Family Magic, I am very conscious when I'm making them. And I'm channeling every time I'm making them. So it is the intention and the energy to creating the product. Or this is for acne, or this is for stress, or reducing wrinkles, or whatever it is that I'm working on. And I'm channeling, and usually I channel Merlin is the one that I'm the one that bring for the one that present himself all the time when I'm doing my soaps. And that's why I call him family magic. And because it has that intention. And I do notice since then that since we start creating our brand and we start adding more products in there, that my skin actually start reflecting very better. My wrinkles start minimizing, the spots start minimizing, and so forth. And I can say that I have not bought soaps in 10 years, something like that, since we start doing that. And those are the same products that I use to even clean my face. And not only do the shower and so forth. And my daughter also, eczema actually reduced because that's her main problem, the eczema. And that's why we started all this for her eczema. Like, okay, we cannot find the product. That's okay. Let's buy the shea butter. Let's buy this. Let's buy that. And let's create it and see how it works. And it did work. And then my friends came and it's like, okay, let's I want to buy some of your soaps and so forth, and then later on creams and later on shampoos and later on this and that. But it was the conscience about when we were doing it. It has that flip because it's not a big industry. It is not that we have to ship a container with full of these
Yeah.
products. It's very different, It is about the conscience of doing it a few soaps because how many molds we have. We're not having thousands and thousands of molds like in a big industry. And I wanted to keep it like that precisely because we still can make it at home. And instead of renting a warehouse and hiring people and so forth, because then the intention when you're doing it get lost. And many of the soaps or the products that we're buying in the market, they don't have that intention. They don't even have intention except to make money to the owner. That's it. That's the only intention in each one of the products that we buy in the market because it's big enterprises. But there's many pop and mom shops now that when they're creating their soaps, they're having the intention. And I believe that is also where the magic resides in the intentions of every single human being. They're creating that product. I'm not talking about only mine. I'm talking about many mom and pop shops that they start showing up everywhere.
Mhm.
So I believe that is important too for the skincare.
Yeah, and I think these shops have a specific way of connecting to the community. It's not the same as going and buying a L'Oreal product in the supermarket. You can go to that shop and have a heart-to-heart conversation with the person. So it's a whole lot dynamic, a whole other dynamic. Because from my experience working in cosmetic science and on the ingredient side, you realize that even with the natural certifications that exist, which I wouldn't say these natural certifications are bad because they add regulations so that not everybody can go and put a bio label on their product. So that's actually good to have them in place, but there's always a loophole, and a lot of companies are trying to go into that loophole and sometimes benefit from the fact that people don't actually know the science of the product, and they will do a nice marketing, put a lot of green and leaves there and there, but actually what was the intention behind that product to start with? Was it really something to provide the best of nature to the people, or was it more for marketing purposes? So I like the idea of having like smaller brands that are still close to their values, because the values are in the essence of the product, and you're sharing that value through the product to your customers. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. So the people that are having problems of acne, because, or we're talking of, and acne doesn't only present itself in the teenagerhood, it also presents also when you're menopause. So again, it's hormonal. And also it presents in different times in your life, or wrinkles or spots from the sun, or you're getting older, you change, your flesh change. After the menopause, your flesh change so much that exactly as when you were a teenager. It's those two changes in the women's life, that it is hormonal and it is change. And the insecurity starts showing up in those two stages in the women harder, because we don't feel young anymore. We're not producing the same elements in our body than we used to present when we were younger. So the insecurity starts showing up, the white hair starts going out, etc., and so forth. So there's the same insecurity that when we were teenagers again. So how do you work with people in that level? Because you have the two stages as teenagers and after the menopause women. How do you work with them?
This really brings the idea of self-acceptance at different stages in our lives. And whilst you were discussing it, well, both problems are hormonal problems. Like when you're going through acne, it goes down to hormones, and menopause as well. So there's something that we haven't so much explored in the world right now, but that's definitely key, is how we connect to bodies as women. Because I feel like sometimes we're not thinking so much about how the hormones that we're producing, based on how we accept the flows and the fluctuations of energy in our bodies as women. And it's something that I really like to do, like connecting to my feminine energy and the state of it um, at each moment, in order to, as a byproduct, regulate the hormones that I'm secreting. So that's something that I would highly recommend. But again, talking about self-acceptance, in my method and the connection I build with inner light, the idea is to make people feel better about themselves wherever they are in their journey. And so when you're going through menopause, okay, there are a lot of struggles, a lot of changes happening to your body. But if you stick with the idea that, okay, it is a new stage of life, this stage of life comes with its opportunity, and you're getting to this stage of your life with knowledge that you've built before, and it's a whole new journey that's starting, then you start to accept yourself and see the beauty of what's coming up at that specific moment and this specific point of your life. And I believe that having these positive emotions is going to help you navigate that transition in your life better. And it's also going to help with your skin, because then all the anxiety of stress that you could have had if you were in trying to battle the natural flow of life, well, it's no complete self-acceptance, and you feel better, and your skin also looks better.
Yes, we're gonna reflect outside what we have inside.
Exactly.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, that's I believe also that we each have our unique specific vibration, and with society right now, sometimes we can sense that everybody wants to be different. They're looking at the other and thinking, oh, well, this person has that. I have to push through and try to be like this as well because I want to achieve this specific goal. And I believe it's about accepting ourselves as who we are, because we all came here to emit a specific light and to bring a specific touch to the world. It's like what comes to mind right now is like a recipe. Like everybody is a specific ingredient and they're bringing their own flavor. And I don't know if the paprika is trying to be black pepper, then the recipe is not gonna be that interesting. It's not gonna be so flavorful. So I really help my client be themselves and reconnect to their true self in order to yeah be confident in that and bring their own unique flavor into the world.
I do agree with you, and I understand perfectly that any human being, male or female, and more females, because there's society programming that how we should look and what body we should have and how our hair should look and how much we have to prolong our youth, in fact. And I came to the point that I'm 54, and my DNA, in my family, my bloodline, we produce a lot of white hair since very early age. And at this point in my life, I came to understand that it's like when I did completely accept, okay, I'm not even gonna paint my hair white. Why? Because I'm tired of be using all these chemicals that damage my hair and so forth. I'm gonna embrace my age. I don't have to compete or be in the 30s. I don't want to anymore. Because I fully accept my age and where I'm going. And when I did that, in fact, this weekend I stripped my hair from the color and I grabbed a paint of white and it came out brown. And I was like, what? Finally, like I was ready. Here it is, brown. And like, what happened? Like, painted white. To be white right now. It is not. And and that's again the surrendering to the spirit. Okay, you tell me when I am ready, because I clearly bought the white paint, and it didn't happen like that. But it is about sometimes surrendering. Even the spirit says, okay, not yet. You're not gonna paint
Yeah,
white.
yeah,
And flow. Okay. Like they know better when we're ready to accept certain aspects of ourselves and when we're not ready to. This is a clear example of why I hear yours is damaged more, but it is not because I don't try to go white. It's that, but we go to that transition when we are getting older and we start getting wrinkles. Okay, I see so many people putting Botox or putting a lot of stuff that in their flesh that is gonna bring harm sooner or later, because they still try to keep themselves young for the same competition that many women has with other women. Like, oh, I want to be 30 when I'm 50. Why wouldn't embrace the age that we have? Or the young ones, when they're teenagers, they just wanted to put more makeup and so forth so they can look older instead of embracing the age they are. And that is social media had a lot of effect in all of us,
definitely.
because we see other people like, oh, I want to look like her. Yes, but when you get to that age, or you're already past that age. You know why you don't accept the person that you're seeing in the mirror? I'm not saying that do not take care of yourself. That's a separate issue. I'm talking about self-acceptance. And instead of following the social norms that social media it is imposing in all of us, more than men, this is happening more to women.
Yeah, and I even noticed that some women are silencing themselves because they don't fit a specific pattern. And it's not necessarily all body, it can also be um, I don't know, the way they speak, because some people are very, bubbly and extroverted, and it seems like on social media the algorithm is kind of favoring this type of personality, and or people have the belief that the algorithm is favoring this. I don't know if it's true or not. And a lot of women are actually not putting their message out there, or not perhaps showing up on camera because they don't have the look, or they don't have the specific way of talking. And I feel like it's so important at this point of time to just do it anyway and put our true colors out there, because this is what the Earth experience is for, to be different and share our unique colors and help people benefit from that, because this is how we build more tolerance as well. Um, Obviously, if everybody is giving the same message with the same tones, then where is the beauty of it? Where is the diversity in it?
And we as human beings, we give the power to the social medias, that they're norms that they're saying how we should look. If we start ignoring them, they're going to start disappearing because they're not going to be so important for us. But more that we are using different social medias and say, oh, I have to have look here, I have to have this because this is the new fad, and I have to look like that, or I have to look younger, so forth, because this is the new fad. That fad is always have existed. But how about if we start embracing exactly as we are? It doesn't matter. We don't have to change our nose. We don't have to change our color of our skin. We don't have to change nothing, absolutely nothing, and just embrace exactly the person that we are. Yes, we have problems of it doesn't matter which kind. Yes, we address that problem, but that doesn't mean to accept exactly whatever it is that we have.
Yeah,
And it's going to be showing up more in how we present with the rest of the people.
yeah, and it's also being kind with our bodies, because our bodies are so complex, and it's a lot of processes going on at each minute, each seconds. And yeah, maybe our body produces one pimple, but it produced this pimple for something. It
Yes.
was perhaps battling something. And why don't we just trust our bodies and be kind to it, saying, well, okay, you produced a pimple. I accept that. Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing. I know it's not gonna be there forever. And yeah, thank you for the amazing job that you're doing with that pimple that just popped up.
Muriel, you have a beautiful skin, and I bet also inside too. And we hope we follow those little tips that you're giving us about self-acceptance and so forth. And do you have more tips that you would like to give to the viewers?
Well, the tip that I would give is to trust yourself. I'm thinking about your own unique intuition, because this is gonna unlock so many things for you. Sometimes we have things that come to mind and that are not so rational, but this is where wisdom comes from, and believing the weird images that we have in mind, that's what's unlocking the connection to our guides and to the higher realm. For me, when I started, and this was way before starting to read the Akashic records, I always had these images coming in my mind, and I didn't really know where they were coming from, but I thought it was all junk. And yeah, by starting to acknowledge them, and then admitting that they might make some sense, then little by little they started to make more sense for me, and develop into a whole connection, a whole nother connection to the divine. So this is really what my line of work is about, like trusting yourself, accepting yourself, um, building your connection with the divine, and really feel that you are a light, that you are a part of the light emanating from the divine, and that your purpose is to radiate that uniqueness into the world. So that's what I would encourage people to do, to connect themselves more to their inner voices.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's been a very, very interesting. Oh, before I forget, you say that you have something, a gift for the viewers, correct? Please.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so if you've liked the discussion that we just had, I'm gonna I'm offering meditation, which is going to reconnect you to your inner light in your own uniqueness. So if you're interested in getting that meditation and diving deeper into your authenticity, then you will be able to get access to it via the link. So yeah.
Perfect. I will be posting the link for this meditation in the description of this video. So you can go and click it in there so you can do this meditation. And they can connect also with Murielle if you have any questions too, or you want a Akashic reading, or you want to know more about your skin. It is going to be in the link in the description of this video. And if this video please help you, please give us a like and share it with your friends. It may help someone else too. We will appreciate that very much. Thank you for being in Soul Talk. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Muriel. I really, really appreciate you accepting my invitation for Soul Talk. And thank you, everybody. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.